Hey, welcome to another video from Sepper Woodworking. In my some 45 years as a woodworker, I still love the fact that woodworking is taking something from the natural environment, in this case, a piece of tree, and putting it through a process and coming out with, a piece of art or a functional, you know, item for your kitchen, cutting board, bowl, or whatever that may be. And in this case, these two pieces of hickory were actually in a tree 2, 3 days before this video was shot. A good friend of mine had taken down a couple hickory trees on his property. He had those trees milled up for lumber, and I was just kind of looking through the burn stack before I went home and decided to grab these two pieces of wood and go through the process of turning them into a bowl. In this case, these two pieces will end up being four bowls that might be 8 to 9 inches in diameter. So probably the most important thing that you need to consider when making a bowl from green wood or wood that's fresh from the tree is it's going to be too high in moisture content to start this process from beginning to end all in one day. You're going to have to do something to get that bowl blank dried before you can actually finish the project, or you're going to get warping of the wood or likely cracking of the wood. So you have to go through some process to control that drying. In the past, I've taken the roughed out bowl and put that in a box of its own shavings, taped up that cardboard box and stuck it on a shelf for 4 months, maybe upwards of a year, depending on what the wood species is. And that's a really conservative way to dry. You could obviously take it to a kiln. I've even taken small little drink coolers with light bulbs and timers and use the heat from the light bulb to kind of create my own kiln and dry wood quicker. One of my favorite ways to do it fast, controlled, and really reliable is to use the denatured alcohol method. So in this case, you'll take that green bowl blank and you'll rough that down to 10% thickness to the diameter of the bowl in just a roughed out fashion. So if these bowls are going to be 8 to 9 inches, we'll just call it 10 inches, and we'll want to rough that bowl down to 1 inch per the 10 inches of diameter, and that 1 inch will leave enough thickness as that bowl dries out, it will warp slightly, and that'll leave you enough thickness that when you eventually get it back on the lathe and turn it around again, you'll have enough material that to take place. So the denatured alcohol method is kind of a chemistry mystery to me. If anybody out there is a chemist and knows what the actual chemical process that's taking place, I'd love to know if you leave a comment in the comment section. But effectively, when you soak that wet wood in the denatured alcohol, I believe somehow the alcohol gets attracted to the moisture that's in the wood. It displaces that moisture, and then when you eventually take the bowl blank out and air dries, that remaining denatured alcohol will evaporate much quicker than the water would, and therefore you've got a usable bowl blank that you can finish. I usually will soak the roughed out bowl blank like 24 to 48 hours, and then if you wait a week, it's not really going to matter much. And then I'll take it out, let it air dry, and 10 days to 2 weeks, it's usually dry enough for me to get back on the lathe and get that project finished. I thought I'd mention another way that I've successfully used to dry green bowl blanks, and that's the paper grocery sack method. I'll take two grocery sacks and nest them in together so they're double layered, and put my roughed wet bowl blank upside down inside the grocery sack, seal the top of it shut, which will limit the amount of airflow that can get to the bowl, so it'll slow down its drying process. Then I'll actually cut a 3-4 inch diameter hole in the bottom of the grocery sack, and that hole lets more air up into the what would be the inside of the bowl, causing the inside of the bowl to dry a little faster than the outside of the bowl, and that will induce a compression in the wood since the wood is contracting as it's going to dry, and that will help, reduce any potential cracking or splitting of the wood. I found that really successful if I'm in kind of a more of a hurry to use that lumber for a finished bowl, and that's a 6 to 8 week process. I've had some good success with that, depending on what the temperature is in the room at the time or the relevant uh, humidity levels. So that's just a third way. I encourage you to experiment with different methods, and some are more successful with certain wood species, and some are less successful. But and if you've tried any of those in the past, let me know in the comments section how that's worked out for you. All right, so I'm now to the point where I'm just about finished with the roughing out process, and I'm just taking a final thickness measurement to make sure it's consistent throughout the top to the bottom of the bowl. And here's the bucket where I've just taken some denatured alcohol, and we're just letting that bowl soak. I've got I think an old piece of granite, I think it is, just to act as a weight to keep the bowl from floating on the surface, and I'll just let that soak 24, 48 hours, sometimes a few days more, and put it on top to air dry eventually.
A few moments later.
At this point, we are ready to take our roughed out bowl, get it back on the lathe, and hopefully get a finished project done. But I can't just mount that bowl back on the metal chuck, because as part of the drying process, the wood will warp slightly, and that warping took place on the tenon on the bottom of the bowl as well. So I'm here using a jam chuck just to reverse mount the bowl, so I could turn the tenon on the bottom back round, and once I have that round, then I could flip it back, remount it safely on the metal chuck, and finish the process to make this into a bowl. Here you can see that now that I've got the bowl mounted back on the lathe, it is wobbling a bit, and that's normal as part of the drying process. All wood's going to warp slightly, and that's been controlled a bit through the denatured alcohol process. It's warped, but when you use the 10% method, that 1 inch of thickness on a 10-inch bowl will allow you enough material that when you return it round, you're not going to have any problem with the wall thickness being too thin anywhere. One minor thing to point out is that the green wood is much easier to machine. The moisture in the wood, softens the wood a bit. It kind of keeps the cutting tool cooler and the blade stays sharper longer, and it's just kind of easier to do. And here, once the wood's been dried out quite a bit, it's much harsher to cut. The sound is a little bit coarser, and you'll need to potentially sharpen your cutting tool more often. Now in this video, I'm going to present absolutely no sanding, but I've gone through the regular process of starting out with 80 grit, 120 grit, going to 180 grit, and doing a final sanding with 220 grit before I put on my selected finish. We're getting pretty close to the completion of this bowl, and I'm back using a jam chuck to reverse mount this bowl so I could take off the tenon on the bottom. Before we'll do some final sanding to the bottom, apply a finish, sign it, and glue on our little finishing medallion.
So I will have some sanding footage after all. There's a quick little shot of me working on the bottom footer of the bowl. Hey, appreciate you sticking around to the end of the video. If you see any value on what I've shown, please consider subscribing to the channel, as well as hit that like button. That really helps us with the YouTube analytics. And stay tuned for more content from Sepper Woodworking. Take care and have a great day. Thanks.